Good day, everyone. I am your classmate, Louela B. PEÑARROYO from the beautiful town of Tagkawayan, Quezon. How are you feeling today? Great! I hope you are all doing fine. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about the theories of ethics. At the end of this video lesson, we should be able to define ethics, identify the ethical theories, appreciate the importance of ethical theories. So what is ethics? Ethics is moral principles that govern a person's behavior of the conducting of an activity. The field of study that is concerned with questions of value, that is, judgments about what human behavior is good or bad in any given situation. It is standards, values, morals, principles, etc. which are used to base one's decisions or actions on. Often, there is no clear right or wrong answer. For example, how would you decide which person should live or die? Let's think about that. Ethical theory. Why study this? So we apply ethical theory to help us make ethical choices. Ethical theory provides a framework for our thinking. It creates consistency. Ethical theories may be character-based, or the ethics of being, or action-based, the ethics of doing. Ethical theories provide part of the decision-making because these theories represent the viewpoints from which individuals seek guidance as they make decisions. It emphasizes different points, a different decision-making style, or a decision rule, such as predicting the outcome and following one's duties to others in order to reach what the individual considers an ethically correct decisions. What are the uses of ethical theories? Understanding moral dilemmas, justifying professional obligations and ideas, relating ordinary and professional morality. In order to understand ethical decision-making, it is important to realize that not everyone makes decisions in the same way, using the same information, employing the same decision rules. In order to further understand ethical theory, there must be some understanding of a common set of goals that decision makers seek to achieve in order to be successful. Four of these goals include beneficence, least harm, respect for autonomy, and justice. Beneficence is simply what is right and good. This principle guides the decision maker to do what is right and good. Next is the least harm. In such cases, decision makers seek to choose to do the least harm possible and to do harm to the fewest people. The third one is the respect for autonomy. This principle states that decision-making should focus on allowing people to be autonomous, to be able to make decisions that apply to their lives. Justice. Decision-makers should focus on actions that are fair to those involved. We have three ethical theories. The first one is deontology. Next is utilitarianism. And the third one is virtues. Deontology, or telling the truth, is always right. Telling a lie is always wrong. It is action-based. Utilitarianism. Action is right if the results in the number of happiness of the greatest number of people in a society or group. It is also a action-based. Virtues judges a person by his or her character rather than by an action that may deviate from his or her normal behavior. So this one is a character-based. Let's take a look at deontology. It comes from the Greek word deon, which means duty. So duty-based, action-based. It argues that the morality, that is the rightness or wrongness of a human act, depends on whether such act fulfills a duty or not, rather than on its consequence. So actions are right or wrong in themselves regardless of their consequences. Example, a physician has discovered that their patient is having a stage 4 breast cancer. However, the physician cannot divulge the truth to her patient right away because the latter is having a cardiac condition as well. Remember, telling the truth is always right, telling a lie is always wrong. So what we will do there? So even though that the patient will have a cardiac condition, we will tell them the truth in a deontology way. Sasabihin pa rin natin kasi yun ang tama. Kahit alam natin na pwede siyang atakihin sa puso. Next is utilitarianism. The doctrine that actions are right if they are useful for the benefit of majority. Ito naman yung minimizing pain and maximizing happiness. The idea of promoting the well-being or yung welfare of the greatest number is also important. Siya naman yung sa mas nakakarami. Example, in a hospital, you are the doctor. You have 6 patients, but one of them will survive only if you give her all 5 doses of the drug. The other 5 patients can survive on a single dose of each. So, sa utilitarian, you are to divide the drug to save the 5 people because maximizing the happiness and allowing the needy, yung nag-iisa, to die, minimizing the pain. Another example, si Batman. Batman doctrine is don't kill, regardless of how bad a person is. Would proponents of utilitarianism advise him to kill the Joker? So if the Joker died, there would be less unhappiness. The third one is virtues. It is a character-based. The virtue ethical theory judges a person by her character rather than by an action that may deviate from his or normal behavior. So, kapag palagi mong ginagawa, so yun na yung thinking sa'yo ng tao. Kapag ganyan yung ugali mo, yun agad yung naiisip nila sa'yo. Kahit hindi naman talagang palaging ginagawa mo yun. Example, if a person plagiarized a passage that was later detected by a peer, the peer who knows the person well will understand the person's character and will judge the friend accordingly. If the plagiarizer normally follows the rules and has a good standing amongst his colleagues, the peer who encounters the plagiarized passage may be able to judge his friend more leniently. Kasi alam niya hindi gagawin niya yun eh. Perhaps, the researcher had a late night and simply forgot to credit his or her source appropriately. Conversely, a person who has a reputation for academic misconduct is more likely to be judged harshly for plagiarizing because of his or her consistent past of unethical behavior. So, hindi patas yung pag-judge dito sa virtues. So, let's compare them. Utilitarian ethics, deontological ethics, and virtue ethics. Meron siyang pros and cons. Sa utilitarian, greatest good for greatest number of people. Deontological, the idea that people should be treated with dignity and respect. Virtue, considering what virtues make a good public relations professionals. Sa pros and cons, sa utilitarian, decision makers are forced to guess the outcome of their choice. Con, harming of minority and benefiting a majority doesn't build mutually beneficial relationship. Kasi dito tayo sa maximizing the happiness, minimizing the pain. Sa deontological naman, what is right, what is wrong is wrong. Sa virtue naman, the possibility of a conflict in virtues. So, the summary of our three major ethical theories. Yung Kantian philosophy, yung deontological, si utilitarianism ni Jeremy Bentham, at si virtue ethics ni Aristotle. Pwede natin i-stop yung video para mas mabasa natin. So, for our quiz, in your own words, how do you define ethics? Number 2, what are the three major ethical theories? And number 3, what is the importance of ethical theories to you? So, before I end my report, let us be reminded on how simple act of kindness can be so much powerful. So, sa interview ni Tita Boy kay Kisses de la Vienne, would you rather be kind or right? Sabi ni Kisses, in this lifetime, I will rather be kind than right, because anyone in this world can be right, but not everybody can be kind. And I believe if there's one thing in the world that's so beautiful, it's that even the world can be harsh to you, even the world can grip you and break you into pieces, you can still be kind, and I think that's the power. So always remember that we should always be kind. This has been Louela B. Peñarroyo, and thank you.